Season 38, War number 7, and we're up against PALØ. This time my team will be Tigra, Pryde and White Magneto. Today I'm taking path 1 in section 1, as well as that Mephisto on node 20, and that Hulkling on the hazard shift node. Path 5 in section 2, as well as that Storm Pyramid X and Rintrah, and finally all the right side mini bosses, as well as the Terrax boss. So I'm taking 12 fights this time. Up first we have a Quicksilver on the personal space regeneration node, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. The game plan here is to just nuke him down with a single special 2, but in the event that that doesn't finish him off, I did also put on my mutant power boosts, just so I can cycle specials if I need to. The regeneration he has is something that Kitty doesn't really deal with, so I'm just gonna have to out-damage it. Kitty is a pretty good option for Quicksilver in general, because she can bypass the whiplash damage with the phasing, and when Quicksilver has that miss counter, it doesn't really hurt Kitty at all. You can just eat his hits all day long while you're phasing. So here my first special 2 did not actually kill him, because I hadn't built up my prowess potency, and I didn't land all criticals, but it did get him low enough for the mutant power boosts to give me enough power to land a second special straight after, and that was enough to take him down. Next up we have an Immortal Hulk on the Masochism Overtime node, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. Now, since Immortal Hulk is a conduit defender and is on a Masochism node, I can't use my heavy attacks or special attacks here, because if you knock the opponent down, they get that conduit debuff. And with Masochism, if the Masochism or a Conflictor node eats the conduit debuff, any conduit defender will get a permanent conduit regeneration for the rest of the fight, and you can't do anything about it. So, if I do knock him down, and that happens, I simply won't be able to finish this fight. It will be a guaranteed timeout. So the game plan here is to just take him down with basic attacks. It's somewhat slow, but it's a very safe fight. Immortal Hulk doesn't really have any defensive value as long as he's not on any too difficult nodes. The reason why he's here is probably because he's just a tanky champion, and Masochism regen kinda helps him with that. I don't really think people put him here because of the conduit bug, but that could also be the case. So now that he's triggered his immortality, I just need to wait it out, and that's the fight. Basic attacks all the way, finished at full HP, and Pryde is OP. Next up we have a Mephisto on node 20, which is a Masochism Overtime node with the Strike Counter Fury node as well. And since Mephisto is another conduit defender, I can't knock him down here either because of the Masochism and conduit bug. So that means the game plan here is to just take him down with basic attacks, and that's basically all there is to it. I did put on the White Magneto pre-fight here to speed up the fight a bit with the extra attack, because the longer the fight goes on, the more damage Mephisto is gonna take, and a single mistake will be enough to drop you in this fight. Since you can't use specials because of the conduit bug, you can't reset that Strike Counter Fury node at all, so you just wanna get in and out as fast as possible. And to achieve that, I'm gonna throw a weak special 2 here to finish the fight with that max prowess potency from the Incinerate aura Mephisto has. That was more than enough damage to take Mephisto down even from full HP, so technically I could have done that even if he was bugged, but that's not something you wanna risk. For this next fight I'm gonna switch out my mutant power boosts for mystic ones, because I will be using Tigra against this guy. So the fight is a Hulkling on the Hazard Shift, Incinerate and Shock nodes. And yeah, Tigra is not immune to either of those debuffs, and I also have the Recoil Mastery is active, so this is quite literally a race against the clock. The game plan here is to use that advanced power boost to start with a single bar of power, then bait 2 heavy attacks from Hulkling at the start, punish them with my heavy attack. That gets me enough power to get my special 2, and with Recoil Masteries and big boosts active, that special 2 should finish him off. That is the idea at least. And it worked, with a lot of overkill as well. Yeah, I wouldn't say Tigra is the best option here. It is a very risky fight. If the AI doesn't play ball, you will more than likely drop dead within a minute. So next up we have a Storm Pyramid X on the Power Snack and 1 too many hits nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. I was thinking about using Tigra here, but then I figured that since she is a conduit defender, I'm better off just using basic attacks to take her down anyways. Tigra would be able to completely shut down the Power Snack node, or at least the power gain aspect of it, as well as her prowess buffs. But Kitty is just a faster option, and I can dex her special ones just fine. In the event that the Power Snack node pushes her to her special 2, Pryde can also just face that special 2 completely, so there isn't really any risk of dying here. I did face the last part of that special 1, and then dropped my special 2 with the extra prowess from facing a hit to finish her off. It was overkill as well, but it made the fight a little bit faster, so why not do that? Next up we have an Omega Sentinel on the Ebb and Flow Intercept node, and I'm using Tigra for this fight. The game plan here is to just play Tigra like normal. I'm gonna be punishing Omega Sentinel's heavy attacks, and well, for her special ones I don't really punish them with my heavy attack because I'm not too consistent with that. It is something I need to practice more, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I did remove my Recoil Masteries for this fight, because I also have a Tigra fight after this. If this was my last Tigra fight, I probably would have kept them on, because this is really not a risky fight at all, so ticking down from the Recoil Masteries would not have been an issue. Next up is a Man-Thing on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm using Tigra here as well. The Neutralize on Tigra completely prevents Man-Thing from triggering those buffs on you that he then nullifies for poisons and armor breaks. I do know the name of those buffs, but I don't know how to say it, so I'm just not going to. So the game plan here is to just get him cornered, bait his special ones, and punishing them with my heavy attack to build up ruptures as well as more power, and then just drop special 2s. I don't need to remove the protection before throwing a special 2, the damage is just fine even with the protection up. Although protection does make the fight slower, but there really isn't any risk of dying here with Tigra, so I really don't mind the fight taking a bit longer. If he decides to dash at me when I'm doing a heavy in the corner or when I'm throwing a special attack, fine by me, but I'm not gonna fish for it. Here I got a special 2 off without the protection and he's almost dead. I did get enough power with the rupture triggers to get the special 1, which I then just chained straight in after that, and that's the fight done with full HP. Next up we have a Rintrah on the Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and like always I'm taking this fight with Pryde. Now I did have an alliance mate place the Odin's Protection pre-fight here for my Kitty for her later fights. It doesn't make a difference here because, well, you really don't want to get hit by Rintrah anyways. Nor do you have to. He's a very easy to fight champion. The only issue with him is that it takes a long time. And that is exactly why I have sped this fight up. Since I've already covered this fight so many times before, I'm not really gonna go in depth on how to do this. You basically just punish his special once over and over again with your heavy attacks to remove his charges, and that's all there is to it. So I'll be back for the next fight. Yeah, that wasn't my greatest Rintrah fight. It took 2.5 minutes, but still, it is a very simple fight. Next up we have my last Tigra fight of the war, a Gorr on the safeguard mini-boss node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. And I do still have the half recoil masteries with the poison active, because, well, this is the last fight I have with her, so I don't really mind losing a bit of HP. The game plan here is to just get to my special 2s, no matter how. You can do basic attacks or punish his heavies or specials with your heavy. It doesn't make a difference. All you need to do is just get to your special 2 and drop it. Repeat that once or twice if you have to, and the fight is over. He can't trigger his regeneration because of the neutralize, and the neutralize actually triggers before the regen buff, so he doesn't even get one if you drop the neutralize at some point in the fight. So that makes Gorr a very easy fight. Next up we have an America Chavez on the Stunning Reflection and Polka Dot Power mini-boss nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde. Now, since I can't gain any power here with Kitty, the plan is to just use my basic attacks for the whole fight. When I get to that unblockable, the fight is basically over, as long as America Chavez decides to actually use her special attacks, which she doesn't really want to do that often. To deal with her specials, I do tend to face block them instead of facing them or dexing them, because face blocking avoids triggering dexterity, meaning no mystic dispersion, and it also means you don't lose prowess from causing the hits to miss. So in a fight like this where I can't parry or really do anything else to gain prowess except just hit her, I think that is safer. And it's not really that difficult to do either. Here I did mess up the timing on my phasing for that special one, so I took a tiny bit of block damage, but I'm just gonna heal that back up with the recoil masteries. I probably could have taken this fight with Tigra as well, but I didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. Pryde counters every single thing America Chavez does, so I just didn't want to risk it. So far in the season I am deathless, and I'm trying to keep it that way. It took some time, but that was a very easy fight for Kitty. As long as you can get that 10 prowess for the unblockable, that is basically the fight over. Next up we have a Scorpion on the Brute Force mini-boss node, and I'm taking this fight with Pryde using the White Magneto pre-fight. Now the game plan here is to just use my phasing to get easy openings either by intercepting or going unblockable and just breaking through his block. And that is the basics of this fight. I will be baiting some heavy attacks to avoid him using his special ones, because the specialty is just easier to deal with. Kitty's facing completely counters his Scorpion evade as well, whatever it's called, actually I don't remember, but the counter attack doesn't actually hit you, it misses into Kitty's face, so then he can't combo into you straight after either. and for the sting debuffs you may get from his special ones or from him evading, they don't do anything even if you use specials, because if you're facing when you use your specials, as you usually should be, you won't be taking any of the sting damage at all. So Scorpion is just a very simple kitty fight all around. Kitty counters basically everything he does, as with most champions. And next up is my last fight of the war, a Terrax boss, and I'm taking this fight with Kitty Pryde. Now, I wasn't supposed to take this fight with the aspect of evolution link up, but I figured that it wouldn't change the fight all that much. Since Terrax is constantly just draining his own power, the extra power gain he gets, or combat power rate he gets, does not matter at all. All that's gonna do is just make him stay in the rock field longer at times, and that's basically what you want him to do with Kitty. As soon as you get to 3 prowess, you have won the fight. Then you just do medium light combos for the rest of the fight, and Terrax can't do anything. When his rock field is up, he is extremely aggressive, so he will more often than not go for your intercept, and you just throw medium, throw a light, back off, and repeat, and it may take some time, but he will go down in time. Whenever the rock field ends, which it will sometimes, because the longer it's up, the faster it drains his power, so even with the extra combat power rate it will go down a few times. Then you just need to get him to a bar of power, beta special, and then just keep doing medium light combos. That is the whole fight, there is nothing else to it. If the opponent's Terrax has max inequity, it doesn't matter, it's just gonna make the fight a little bit longer, but even with just basic attacks, Kitty Pryde does have the damage to take him down. And that's pretty much all there is to say about this fight. I do recommend running full recoil masteries here, just because the fight is a pretty long one, so the extra damage only helps you. Without recoil masteries, I'd say this is still a very viable strategy for taking Terrax bosses, but if you do have them available, do put them on for this. And just to get that clean solo with a full yellow bar, I went for a special 3 to finish him off with a nice clean combo of 169 on screen. Terrax is just so easy to do with Kitty Pryde, anyone can do it. Even a 5-star Kitty Pryde should be able to do this if you're boosted heavily. We did end up winning the war, 29-4. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but hey, I'll take it.